The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Well, there's plenty going on in the wake of Ex-Tropical Cyclone Alfred, so we thought we'd get the Lord Mayor on to explain what is happening and exactly what the Ute Army is all about. So good morning, Lord Mayor. What is the Ute Army? What's going on here?
Yeah, look, we had, after the 2011 flood and the 2022 flood, the Mud Army came together to help people with the clean-up, and there's obviously less mud around this time, which is a good thing, but there's a lot of fallen trees and tree branches around the place. So the councils will be cleaning up all of the trees in parks and street trees that have fallen down. But also I know people in their homes have quite a bit of green waste as well to get rid of. So there's going to be, for many residents, a lot more than they can fit in their green bin or in the boot of their car. Yeah. And so we're putting together the Ute Army and gearing it up this weekend to help people that need some extra space and extra help to get things to the tip. We've got free tipping for green waste, obviously. That's continued on, but I know people will need help, and I know there's a lot of people out there with utes who are keen to help.
So I guess today as well, we're kind of moving into a different phase of it now, Lord Mayor, aren't we? The weather seems...
Sun's out.
Fairly subdued across the Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast and Brisbane, as far as we can tell. Are we in that stage now of recovery mode, or where are we at?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that, BOM's predicting not much rain at all today. I think they've predicted like 7 millimetres, which is not much at all. And so that's a good thing. So that means we can really focus on gearing up. Because yesterday there was still a prediction of a lot of rain. It didn't actually happen. Right. They said we could get up to 130 millimetres, and I think we got 6 millimetres. So that was a good outcome. But that means we can now really focus on the clean-up and the recovery effort, and that's absolutely what we're doing yesterday and today.
Has there been any major lessons that have come out of this experience?
Oh, there's always a lot. One of the interesting things is, and there was a bit of talk in the media about this today, about giving people information and empowering them to sort of make their own decisions rather than sort of, telling everyone this is what you're going to do. Yeah. And I know, different people have different views on it. Some people are like, well, just tell me what to do. Well, I'll do what you advise. But other people are like, don't tell me what to do. I don't want to be locked down. I don't want to be told to stay in my home. So it's quite an interesting situation, and
it is.
There's definitely pros and cons. But I mean, when you're talking about, a cyclone coming, not something that most of us have ever experienced before, I think there's a lot of lessons, and, hopefully we don't have another one of these anytime soon, but at least now we'll have learnt what it's like to experience a cyclone in a very built-up area of southeast Queensland. And so we'll make sure everyone learns the lessons, the government's councils learn the lessons, community is prepared in terms of what they need to do as well. So there's always
Can I just say, from my observation, I feel like everyone's done a really good job through this cyclone. And I think across the board, I felt like the official statements have been loud and clear. It's been really quite, it's been all very concise, and everyone's kind of had their finger on the pulse the whole way through, which has been really nice, because you were saying before, after COVID, you were taking a slightly different approach, that because after COVID, a lot of people, the meme went around, govern be harder, daddy, whereas now you've kind of given the people a bit more of a choice of what's safe and what's not. And I must say, personally, I found it really refreshing that you haven't treated us like a bunch of dopes.
Well, no, that's good. I mean, look, I think, for example, if there was another pandemic, I don't think anyone would actually stay in their homes. I think people would be like, nah, that was an overreaction. We didn't, we shouldn't have done that. And so there's that sort of debate going around. It'd be very difficult to do it the same way again, because I don't think it'd work. And so having gone through all of that, it's sort of, you'd give people the information so that they're informed, and then, people will make their own choices. I think the biggest frustration with this one was that the weather kept on changing, and so the pace of the cyclone, it slowed down. So when we were all expecting it to happen, it slowed right down, which then meant that things were sort of closed down for longer, or we were all waiting for longer. That was very frustrating. And then we had the follow-up. So the night after, obviously, it came through pretty ferociously with the winds and more power outages. So, it was a very unpredictable situation, but that was, weather does what weather does. So that's a learning experience too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And you're right, Nick. I think our information armoury is a lot stronger than it might have been a decade ago, which is great. But
and people are dialed in now as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, if people have got utes and you're on the weekend, your tools are down, where do they head to go and help with the clean-up?
So if you're a Brisbane resident, contact your local councillor, and they're helping to link up the people with utes and people who can offer to help with the people who need help. And so if you need help, give the council a call. You can call the call centre, 3403 8888. And if you can give help, call your local councillor who's hooking you up with local people that need help. And the aim is to get, so there's 26 local councillors all across Brisbane. The aim is to get local people helping local people. So not necessarily driving right across the other side of the city to help. You hopefully will be able to help someone in your own area.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.